I'll tell you a little bit about myself real quick and then tell you what I'd like to do at the Lafayette Sheriff's Office. First off, my name is Rick Chargois, born and raised in Lafayette, both Lafayette proper and Lafayette Parish. I've lived in the parish my whole life. I was raised by Louisiana State Troopers, so I was born into public safety services. And after I became a trooper at the age of 19, I worked for the state police for about 25 years. Some people get confused with what state police actually does. The state police is not just the guys that are out there writing tickets and working the wrecks on the side of the road. They have a huge investigative section, and they also have a huge enforcement section when it comes to things like gaming enforcement, where the public wanted certain things and they trust the state police to enforce and protect those services. So I had a very good career in law enforcement. I started off in uniform patrol. I worked in uniform for several years. I worked in detectives for a little while. I went over to the academy where I was able to work with really, really good people in the federal sector. I became an instructor for both the academy and an FBI instructor for instructor development for their people as well as ours. I ran the firearms unit for state police, which put me directly into administrative services then. That's when I had to learn about policy and procedure and how that affects the public and what we're supposed to do on a daily basis to make sure that our troopers and our police officers are the best prepared that they can possibly be. That put me into a leadership role. It put me into leadership education within the department. All of my education, some people will say I don't have education. That's not true. All of my education is vocation specific, provided to me by the organization I work for, and it's one of the most professional organizations around. So my education was all about providing the best public safety services to the state of Louisiana, the parishes, and the cities that we serve. After the academy, I went into narcotics enforcement, and that's where my authority broadened. I had to work in the district, which was 19 parishes. It was a third of the state of Louisiana. So I was learning to work on a statewide level, learning to work with all those sheriffs, all those chiefs. We started addressing mid to upper level smuggling operations, the drugs that come into our community and affect our community on a day-to-day basis. Think about it. It's estimated now 70 to 80% of the crimes that are committed in this country are drug related. You need somebody that understands the drug trafficking, the organized crime that brings that into our community. It affects our community. We've had approximately 7 to 8 shootings. I'm starting to lose track now. 7 to 8 shootings in Lafayette Parish in the past 2 months. The Grand was just one. Everybody remembers the Grand, and that was a terrible thing. But don't forget about the rest of the parish where we're having these other acts of violence, and a lot of those are directly drug-related as well. So, understanding narcotics, understanding how it comes into our communities, understanding how it affects our businesses, and our children, our grandchildren, is very important for the man that sits in that office. I've done that job. I understand how it works. And then the last thing I had with state police was I was in gaming enforcement, which was a statewide command, and that's when you learn about real politics. That's when you learn the ugliness of political influence into business practices and how it affects our community. So that's a broad thumbnail sketch of what I've done with state police. So how does that affect you? With a lifetime of public safety service, I bring that to the sheriff's office. I bring the political knowledge on a statewide basis to come in here. You know that about 30% of the sheriffs in the state of Louisiana are former state troopers? Police work is all about collaboration, people. We have to understand how we all work together. Lafayette's a beautiful community. We're vibrant, we're growing, we have businesses here, but criminals come here to commit crime as well. So the chief law enforcement officer of the parish has to work very closely with the other sheriffs around here, the chiefs within the parish, and I've done that. I've worked with every one of these men. And I'm going to make sure that we collaborate, we make this police agency that we have the best police agency in this country. I'm going to surround myself with the best people available to make sure that our budget is handled properly and the services that we provide are second to none. I thank you for your time. I'd appreciate your support. You're going to listen to a lot of good men up here, but when you look at the qualifications, what I've done my whole career in one place, serving the citizens of the state of Louisiana, I think you'll find that I'm the right guy for the job. Please vote for me on October the 24th. I'm number 65 on the ballot. My name's Rick Chargois, and I thank you very much.